So recently I did a video talking about the Tiffany Haddish situation, in which she talked about how she was all alone and that she didn't have any men supporting her. And I got a lot of Tiffany Haddish fans in my comment section that was dragging me for filth. Okay. And so I first want to start off by playing the clip of exactly what Tiffany Haddish said herself first. And then we're going to get into the comment section.
On social media were saying Tiffany shouldn't have cracked jokes about finding a man in Israel. I got to say, in our morning meeting, it's like she's a comedian, for crying out loud. But I want to at least give you a chance to talk about that.
I'm here all by myself, just like I was saying in 2018 when they was asking me about Monique and her husband. And I said, I don't do my business the way she does business because I don't have a husband. I don't have what she has, right? I'm all alone. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have a whole family full of men or a man supporting me. I'm doing it on my own. I'm learning on my own. So for people to say, like, I have to make light of something that the average female wouldn't do. The average female wouldn't have the courage to go see for themselves. It's a lot of scary out here, and y'all can be scared, but I'm going to go ahead and follow my instincts and learn as much as I can learn.
Okay, so you guys heard it from her. She said that she don't have, a family full of men or a man supporting her or any men around her. She's doing it all on her own. And as I said in my previous video, that expresses that a lot of these same boss chicks that talk about they don't need a man, they could do bad all by themselves, they understand the magnitude or the weight it holds when you have a man with you, beside you, leading you, showing you the way to go. Or even at the very least, supporting you, supporting your decisions. You have certain things that happen at work. You have this man that you can confide in and consult. She expressed the weight of having a man around because of her lack thereof. That means that she placed emphasis on how important it is or how important a man's role is, and she understands how important a man's role is. That's what she's saying out of her own mouth. She clearly said that. I didn't make that up. Sometimes I think that when I do these videos, even if they hear the person say it themselves, just to discredit my argument, they will say, they will say and dance around everything, even if the person themselves has already said it. So let me address this first comment. Okay. The first comment says, it really is not hard to find a husband if one just lowers their standards. So this is basically downplaying. This is saying that any woman who has a husband, the only reason in which she has a husband is because she does not have high standards for herself. Let's just think about how foolish that sounds. Like, that don't make no sense. If that's the case, if it would only take women to lower their standards, how come Pookie got so much kids, but he don't got a wife? Make that make sense to me, because that don't make sense. They lower their standards with the people who they procreate with, because so many women talk about they don't want no man that does this, they don't want no man that does that, they not gonna have no man in their life that's doing all these things, and then give them like a couple months to a year, then they're the same ones talking about deadbeat daddies and reposting all these shaming tactics about men. Okay, I think we handled that one. Let's move on to the next one. Next person said, she'll be fine. The fact is, no one's gonna save anyone in this world. It's up to you to make and find your happiness, even with a spouse. All that shame tactic is weak. You see, whenever I have these conversations, there's nothing shaming about the conversation. There's nothing shaming about it. What the conversation is about is shining light on the depth of the real truth behind the conversation, and also allowing other women who are out there to see from the lens or the gaze of how certain decisions can impact your life, how the certain you don't need a man attitude or mentality or the things that people are saying. It's showing a different perspective so that you can see the full picture. Okay, there's a whole bunch of women online talking about how you don't need a man. Okay, now we have a situation where a person is pouring their heart out and talking about the lack thereof and the results of not having a man in their life. You do with all that information what you may. But now, at least you have the full picture and not just half of it. To this mindset, she'll be fine. No one's going to save anyone. It's up to you to make and find happiness. Now, does happiness begin with you? Absolutely. Do I believe that it is the other person's duty to ensure happiness? No, I do not. Did I say that in my video? No, I didn't. This is just moving the goalposts. This is just finding divots to bring something into the conversation. It's not about saving. It's about support within. It's about, again, having somebody that you can go to while you're growing through. It's so vital. What I find interesting is that a lot of people, are showing their lack or their disdain for the union or the unity between people in a relationship. Oh, she'll be fine. She'll figure it out. She don't need a spouse. She don't need anybody to help her and guide her and support her. She don't need anybody. She could do it all by her own. She'll eventually get there. There's nothing. Why do people find an issue with knowing that you need help? Why? Why do people find issue with a woman who says that she needs her man in her life? Why? Is it because the men that you've chosen have made you feel a certain way, or you're let down based off of the things that you're going through? And so because of those situations, you want to stand in a space that you don't respect love or relationships because really you're bitter? And you're actually coping? And you want other women to be coping too in the same exact fashion that you are? Is that what it is? Because that's what it seems like to me. Let's move on to the next one. Next one, this one got me. The next one says, women by nature are chaotic? Nah, by nature we're nurturers and problem solvers. The chaos actually comes when we allow the wrong men in our lives. The next comment is also about chaos. Let me just show you guys real quick. Next one says, I disagree wholeheartedly. Women are chaotic. What are you even talking about? Since they're both the same, let me just sum this all up. First of all, a nurturing woman, where can I find them? Okay? The majority of women right now that we see that are talking about all kinds of things on social media or whatever, do they seem nurturing? Do they seem that way? Maybe you are talking about women who are evolved and who are emotionally mature and who are in tune with their feminine. But if women were not chaotic, why are most of the reality TV shows that are full of chaos, why is it that those are centered around women, number one? And why are women the highest viewers of those shows? Please tell me. Why is there not a Real Husbands of, whatever state? Why is it that there is not, a baddies male edition? Why don't these things exist? Think about it. Also, in the word chaotic, it means that you are just like a disarray, a mess. A lot of women, though they do not want to hear it, though they might not like it, it is a part of the feminine. It is. The opposite. What is the opposite of order? Men provide order, structure, stability by nature. Women are the ones who overthink. Oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta. Women are the ones who multitask. Oh, I have to do this. I'm doing this at the same time. I'm cooking. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. The same women who turn around and shame men. Oh, well, if I was doing that, he can't hold the baby and do all these things. It's literally proven that they say women are better multitaskers. Why? Because of the chaos. It comes natural. Overthink, do this at the same time, do this, put this in this place. Women who are evolved and emotionally mature, they operate differently. But this is still a part of it. Okay. Let's move on to the next. This one said, "You're wrong this time, girl. No girl." Okay. "No man needs." The typos be getting me. Like, the typos be getting me. I think this is supposed to say, "No girl needs no man if they have developed self-love, self-respect, and acceptable amounts of self-esteem." This says esteem, but I'm going to say self-esteem. "No one needs another to hold them accountable or check them. That's very immature. And there's nothing wrong with living life by yourself and doing your mistakes and learning. Just don't hurt others and grow. Self-development is called," maybe she wanted to say key. "Self-development is key. This time you sounded like a perfect pick-me girl. Sad. Just asking for a BF in a show. Sad." Okay, besides the typos, okay, when did I ever ask for a boyfriend in one of my shows? Okay, let's just address the foolishness. People who call me pick me girl, be original. Okay, be original. As if I have not heard that time and time again. As if I have not heard that. Interesting that you're saying that no one needs another to hold them accountable or check them when there's so many women that I have reacted to videos over the years who have blatantly said, "I need a man that's going to put me in my place. I need a man that's going to check me." These are women saying this. I did not make it up. I did not just pull a straw out of a hat and just read a line of something that I think. I'm talking about what I know, what I've heard, what I see. A woman who loves herself and respects herself does not mean that she does not need a spouse in her life. That's foolish. You saying that there's nothing wrong with living life by yourself and doing your mistakes and learning? I never said there was. I never said there's anything wrong with that. I have blatantly and consistently acknowledged that there are different people in the world who have different belief systems, different thought processes, but there are women who want to be in relationships. There are women who, again, require and desire male leadership. She herself is talking about the things that she is going through emotionally based on her having the lack thereof. So what are you talking about? Because this is what a lot of women do. They deflect and they move the goalposts. They start saying that you said stuff that you didn't even say. Same thing that they do when they get into arguments with their man. They start bringing up stuff that have nothing to do. they start, messing with this man's mind so much, he just end the argument because he trying to figure out what y'all even talking about. They have him playing mental gymnastics. He flipping back and forth trying to figure out, wait, what? Wait, hold on. I said this. Wait, what? When? I don't have a problem with you calling me wrong, but I'm voicing my opinion. You're voicing your opinion. I'm evolved enough to know that you're entitled to say and think whatever it is that you feel. While you're talking about immaturity and, people who are unevolved and underdeveloped, you would know that calling somebody wrong and also calling somebody names because they don't agree with you is very immature. And it's getting old. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting real tired. Y'all starting to act like one trick ponies. Like y'all just got one thing to pull and it's to pick me. Oh, to pick me. Like that's gonna hurt my feelings. It doesn't. Another thing that it exposes to me, that unfortunately you have never experienced a love strong enough with a man who cares about you, who cares about you being the best version of yourself, who cares about leading you, who cares about directing you. And it shows. Because you are fighting to say how much you don't need a man. So that means that you don't need any men around you. You don't need your father possibly didn't play a significant role, or you are abandoned from him. Your grandfather's not important. Your uncles, any of the male leadership, your husband, your relationship, lack thereof. All of those things are not important. Because you say that no woman ever needs a man. Ever in her life. Whether it's a father role, at all. And again, it exposes the lack of relationships that you have or you have had within your life. Next person says, you're judging her too hard, sis. She was adopted by a Jewish family. I can understand the sentiment of not wanting to believe any and everything she hears about Palestine and Israel. This is another thing. I put this comment in here because one, it's not about judgment. It's about observation. And two, a lot of people think that it's about this one person, and it's not about that. It's about the other women who have been tricked and bamboozled to think that they don't need a man. It's not even about the trip. I'm going to be honest with you. If that's what you took away from the conversation, maybe you might need to replay it again. It's about women who go to a certain space and understand the importance of having men in their life while there is this big narrative being pushed that you don't need one. That's the real truth. And I'm not going to say nothing else because you call me sis. Maybe you're trying to be nice. I don't know. Next person says, totally disagree with you. Not having a man is no excuse for her behavior. There are millions of women without men that don't get involved in the antics that she displays. So stop it. My 5-year-old little niece knows better. So Tiffany Haddish definitely knows better. It's making excuses like you are doing that fuels this foolishness on behalf of women. So stop it with the excuses. It's so interesting because you have some people who are saying, I'm judging her too hard. I'm going too hard. I'm a pick me. I'm saying the wrong thing. I'm doing all these things. And you have another person who was saying that not having a man is no excuse for her behavior and that, women need to do this and do that. You have people who are saying I'm doing the opposite things. It's interesting. This person is saying that I'm making excuses for her. Just think about that. This just goes to show that people will try any angle to discredit the message because a lot of women do not like the light being shined on any imperfection. They also want to deflect from the message. Your 5-year-old little niece may know better than certain of the things that you say that she's doing, but she doesn't have the life experience to even know the difference. She's going off of the leadership skills of you. At 5 years old, you still have to say, no, that's hot. No, don't run. No, don't do that. It's time to go to bed. Take a seat. While people think that it is judgment or bashing or going hard or going in on her, I'm actually exposing what she's saying. She is talking about the effects of not having male leadership in your life. Whether it is from her family, her relationship, she's talking about the importance of the man. I'm amplifying the message because I thought what she was saying was extremely vital. While people over here calling her all types of crazy and this, I amplified this message so that other women can hear what she's saying and make adjustments accordingly. Whether it's to their behavior, whether it's to their mindsets, whatever it is. There's not, sometimes I want to amplify the positive comments too, because I think that I do, talk about these in the negative comments. But the reason why I do that is because there's a lot of, sometimes we can have a conversation and it leads to a deeper conversation. And so I think it's important to touch base on these deeper conversations. Because a lot of people think I can only, that I can only talk about one thing, and I'm just one track minded, and I only have, one idea that comes. No, when you have this response, I can also show you deeper of why exactly what I said and why I was saying and why I said it. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.